One loan with easy repayments. His daughter was getting married, so in all he wanted to borrow 15.
All right, thanks. Going back to the office. Hey, last I heard you were in Philadelphia. That's why I didn't think it was really you in the directory. Oh, why the change?
Well, I wasn't going anywhere there, so that is.
No comment. Right this way, sir.
So it's all set. Lance called Jeremy last night. Jeremy's agreed to set up the meeting with the princess. Leon Marshall has agreed to be the bodyguard. Now we're waiting on his Carlos decision.
Yeah, well, Carlos agreed to impersonate the princess.
Well, that's excellent, Gene. Now we got ourselves a trap.
Are you leaving?
Yes, I'm going to Chesterfield. Can you give me directions there?
Chesterfield? That place is a ghetto. It's full of... Well, it just isn't the proper place for a young lady to be.
I did not... Mrs. Lucas, I didn't ask you for a commentary, merely directions. Obviously, I'll have to get them elsewhere. And I'm sure that my uncle won't be pleased when he hears about your lack of cooperation.
Well, I just
And he will hear about it.
You go to Westmoreland Avenue, all the way downtown and left on Lancaster.
Just past Merchant's Corner?
Yes, it follows the Kingsley River. And then you go through the Harcourt section. And when things get very seedy, you're in Chesterfield.
And the Chesterfield Free Clinic. Where would I find that?
The free clinic? What on earth do you want
Mrs.
there?
Lucas, please.
Oh, it's on 23rd Street, just off Lancaster. Please be careful. It really is a terrible section. Well, why don't you wait until your husband gets up, and then you can both go together.
He's up. 2 eggs, Mrs. Lucas. Poached. Toast and coffee, light on the cream. Sometime before Easter, if you can manage it.
Very well, sir.
Sleep well?
I didn't sleep at all.
Sorry to hear that. But I really do think separate beds would be best for a while.
Oh, thank you. You'll excuse me, I'm on my way out.
Please. Don't do it, Courtney.
Let go of me.
I love you, Courtney. Nothing will ever change that.
You're kidding. I saw her in Barbados last winter. She gave her position at John Hopkins a well-deserved boot in the hindquarter and went down there to lose herself in her art. She's lost all right. She's painting these absolutely hideous cubist things. I thought I was going to burst out laughing when she showed them to me. She's happy, though, so I'm happy for her.
Jenny Henderson dropping out of medicine. You know, I would have never, ever guessed that. You know, Brian, I always thought that you and she,
Well, we tried. It just wasn't, right, if you know what I mean.
Uh-huh.
Hey, do you know who I saw at Fairmont last week? Althea Donnelly. She's in pathology at Mercy. She looks incredible. I mean, some of the old sparks were definitely there. Of course, it's not Donnelly anymore. It's O'Rourke or O'Malley or something like that. Yeah, now there's the one that I regret letting get away. Ah, well, you live and you learn.
Oh, if I remember, you said the same thing when Dawn married Charlie.
True, and I meant it. You know they're divorced? Yeah, she called me around the first of the year and we had dinner. She's changed. A lot. Speaking of marriage.
Yeah?
I take it, this is the reason for that gold band on your finger?
Yes, she is.
Does she have a name?
Yes, it's Lori.
Lori's lovely.
Well, thank you. Hey, look. Why don't you see this? This little guy's the reason for the dark circles under my eyes. Yeah, little baby. His name's Scott.
What's wrong? You too cheap to buy him a frame of his own?
No, it's just that I change his picture about once a week, so it would make much sense.
I thought there was some kind of a rule. The kids were supposed to look like their parents.
There was, but I think they changed it about 6 years ago.
Oh, good. It's very nice. I'm really happy for you. Now, tell me how the Chesterfield Free Clinic fits into all this.
Not very well, I'm afraid.
You know, I'm actually relieved to hear you say that. I don't want to sound cruel, but this isn't exactly where I pictured you hanging up your shingle.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
No, you tell me. What happened to the guy who was going to go right to the top, whose future looked brighter than anybody else's?
Lance wants jewels instead of cash?
You figure it out.
But John, can that be done?
Yeah, it'll be difficult, but we can pull it off. Just, though. He wants to make the switch on Friday night. I got a lot of paperwork to do. I don't know if I can get those things until maybe Friday afternoon.
Wait a minute. Friday? That doesn't give Carla time to get ready for this thing.
Look, I'm sorry, Gene. Lance is calling the shots on this one. We're just going to have to go along with him. I don't want to make him suspicious at this point.
I don't want, she might get scared and back out.
You want me to talk to her?
No, I'll handle it. Where's the switch going to be made?
King's Arms restaurant.
Out in public? Look, don't get me wrong, man. I mean, I'm excited and I feel good about Carla's safety. But actually, I'm a little surprised that Lance would take such a risk.
Well, look, he'd take a lot bigger risk if he did it in private. He knows it's 3-on-1. He'd be lucky to get out of there with the jewels, let alone his life. No, Lance is a lot smarter than that. He realizes that by doing it this way, he cancels out the possibility of a double cross, and vice versa. Plus, what you just said, it gives Carla more protection. Look, Gene, I really gotta get going. I will call you if anything else develops, all right? And, thanks for the call.
Yeah, thanks, John.
Yes, I don't suppose you could tell me where the file on the crime commission is.
What? Oh, yeah, John, sure. There you go, right here.
Ah, thanks.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it all looked very, important.
What's that?
Oh, your talk to Sergeant Brubaker.
Yes, it was that.
Well, I hope you don't think I'm being forward or anything, but if I am, just let me know. But I was wondering if you could tell me what was going on. I mean, I heard the part about the Dar es Salaam Bible, so I knew that's what... Right. I'm going back to my work, and I will... I'm sorry.
Janice, listen. First rule in being a good investigative reporter, you never give up until you get the answer you want. Got it?
So you don't mind my asking?
No, of course not. Just teaching you some of the basics. In fact, have a seat here. I'm going to tell you the perfect way how to set up a good trap. Now.
Do you understand what I'm saying, Mr. Brewster?
Of course I understand. What do you think I am, stupid?
No, but you are stubborn. This is the third time you've been here this month, and each time we tell you the same thing. You have got to continue taking the pills until the infection is driven out.
But I do take them. I take them till I feel better, and then I stop.
I know, but that's the problem. You can't stop. Just because you feel better doesn't mean the infection is gone.
Excuse me, Dr. Phillips, could I see you just give... Why don't you try prescribing just 3 days worth at a time? And then he'll have to keep coming back when he runs out, and maybe we can monitor him that way.
That might work. Mr. Brewster, I have a better idea.
So do I. Why don't you fire that Dr. Martin? The guy's no good anymore.
Now, just hold on a minute.
Oh, wait, you want I should say something to him?
No, what I want you to do is come back the day after tomorrow, after those pills are gone. You got it?
Yeah, I got it. I still think you ought to fire that guy, though.
You know, those comments would be easier to ignore if they were the first I'd heard on the subject.
I know, but what am I going to say to Ben that I haven't already said?
Hello, Dr. Phillips.
Miss Carpenter,
I was wondering if I might speak with you a moment.
may I ask what about?
Oh, yes, you may. But it's not Carpenter any longer. It's Sumner now.
Well, that's right. Excuse me.
Please call me Courtney. You know, after what happened the last time I was in here, I accused Peter Davidson of lying to me about my husband. I have reason to believe now that he was telling me the truth. But I need to hear more, and I need to hear it from someone who knows. From you, Dr. Phillips.
Courtney,
And I'm not leaving until I do.
Yes, but there is one thing I don't understand. How are you going to get this princess to cooperate with you?
We're not.
But you just said that she was going to wear jewels and...
I know. There's going to be someone who Lance thinks is the princess.
Oh, an imposter.
Exactly.
Someone in the police force.
Nope. It's going to be my wife. A friend of mine is going to pose as the bodyguard. What do you think about that?
Well, I think it's, interesting.
Mm-hmm. It's all going to take place at the King's Arms, too.
Well, I'll be anxious to see how this turns out.
Yeah, you and me both. I'd be anxious to see what the front page is going to be like Saturday, too. Well, that reminds me, Janice. Were you able to call the mayor's office and get a confirmation about a statement that he made about running for re-election?
I'll do that right now.
Good. Oh, and Janice, just leave a note on my desk and let me know one way or the other. I've got to get a recent photograph of the King of Doria. I'll talk to you later.
Sure. Yes, the presidential suite, please. It's Janice. We have a bit of a problem.
I really wanted this place to work in the beginning. Brian, I pursued it with more energy than I've ever pursued anything. And I don't want to give you the wrong impression. I am very proud of the work that's done here. I know how necessary it is. But right now, I'm just, I don't know, just confused about continuing with it.
I don't think you're confused at all. I think you're miserable.
No, wait a minute. I didn't
No,
think...
that's an observation, not an accusation. I don't blame you. But just forcing yourself to come down here every day must take an incredible amount of energy. I know I couldn't do it. Now, I respect you, though. I respect the commitment it took to conceive of and carry out something like this. But I also know that everybody has their limitations. And one of the surest signs that those limitations have been met is unhappiness.
Maybe. You know, I just can't get rid of this image of Jenny Henderson. Sweet, naive little Jenny Henderson sitting there on a beach in Barbados, painting this cubist ocean, you know. I know why she did it, Brian. And I also know you're right. She's happy.
Well, I'm afraid she's got the market cornered on cubist landscapes. Tell you what, though. We could buy you some clay. You could pretend you're Michelangelo.
Oh, that sounds good. I'm not really sure if I want an answer to this. But are things going as well for you as I think they are?
Better.
Oh, I had to ask.
Be happy while you're living, for you are a long time dead, as my grandfather used to say. I don't know. I think the old man would be pretty pleased at how well I've taken his advice.
Brian, about the Bedford Institute.
Ah, here it comes. I must say, I thought you'd bring it up a lot sooner. Your colleague didn't even waste a hello before he made a comment.
Well, not that I think that was right. But there are rumors.
Yes, there are. And I investigated them before I accepted the position. The rumors are groundless, I assure you. But here's a question for you. How many of your patients have died since you opened this clinic?
Somewhere around 7 or 8, I guess. But you have to understand, this is a very poor neighborhood.
Exactly. The poor die, and nobody cares. But you let 3 rich, overweight, overindulged junior leaguers do away with themselves, and the public is up in arms. What the public doesn't know is that 2 of those women were friends with a man who owns the Chronicle. Suddenly the press is badgering us about